Hello, this is the Boston Teachers Union Teacher Portfolio Project, video number 7, Sharing. I'm Mark Lonergan, and today we're going to talk about the difference between being an editor, an owner, and a viewer of your website. We're going to talk about where you should share your digital portfolio once it's built, and we're going to talk about ways to make the address a little bit easier to share. So, first of all, let's look at the share settings. Within your portfolio template, there should be a familiar looking button at the top that is sharing. Now, I would use this is my preference, not hard and fast rules, but I would use this to share with people if I'm interested in getting them to help me build the website. I can add people as editors, just like you would sharing a Google document with them. You want to only invite people to be editors that you trust, because if they delete something or mess up something, then you're going to have to come back and fix it. The share button also gives you the option of talking about how to curate who can view your website. And it's this button right here that says specific people can view. You can click on that and you can either invite specific people if you wanted to, or restrict it to Boston Public Schools. But I highly recommend this first option. Anyone can find and view the public version. It doesn't mean your portfolio is going to go viral. It just means that it's going to be easy for the people you share it with to access it. You won't have to do a second step of inviting them or figuring out their emails. Ultimately, you want to make it as easy as possible for people to see, the people that you want to see your portfolio, to see it. And I think that the anyone option allows you to do that. But I should say, if you're concerned about the content or you're concerned about things being shared beyond your control, then this is a good option. You can restrict it to specific people. And then just like you would invite people to view a Google document, you can type their names in here and say, hey, you're only allowed to view the published. You can send them a message, but you know how annoying it is to get messages from Google. So instead of doing that, what you can do is maybe just add them and then share the link with them. Where you'll get complications is if that person decides to share your portfolio with someone else that you didn't add to your guest list. So, like I said, it can be a way to restrict who's seeing what you put up, and that can be a good thing and a bad thing. I think that's enough on that. The next thing I want to talk about is how to make your web address a little bit easier. When I go to my View the Published site, you can see that I have a lovely site that has an incredibly long address. Now, it doesn't matter too much if I'm sharing it as a link, but if I'm asking somebody to type that in from my resume, chances are that they're not going to be able to type it in. They're not going to have the patience or the accuracy to get it typed in correctly. That's why I recommend using bit.ly or tinyURL. Both of these are places where you can take a long website address and make it shorter. bit.ly looks pretty easy. You take your original address, copy and paste it, or copy it from the browser bar, and then bring it right to bit.ly and then paste it right there. Let's see what happens. It gave me a shorter one. Now, this isn't horrible, but also it's just a little bit of gobbledygook. So I think bit.ly will allow me to customize it if I'd like to. tinyURL I've worked with a little bit more, and they do the same kind of thing. I put in a long address, And I can either press the make tiny URL to get a random option, or if I've got something specific in mind that might be easy for my audience to remember, I can type that in as well. Let's try Lonergan Portfolio and see what happens there. I click Make a Tiny URL, and it says, huzzah, it's done. So now instead of sharing that awful address, I can just put this information on my, share this information with people. And that might be a little bit easier for me and other people to type in if they need to find my portfolio without being linked to it directly. Now, the last thing I want to talk about today is where should I share my digital portfolio? I suggest sharing it in 3 specific places at least. One is on the top or bottom or both of your resume. Let people who are looking at your resume know that there's more info if they need it. The second place is in a cover letter. When you reach out to apply for a position, it's great to include a link to your digital portfolio so that people can get an even better understanding of what your work looks like. The third place is as a follow-up to any interviews. Instead of or in addition to sending a thank you note, why not send an email that has a short link to your digital portfolio as a way of saying, thanks for the interview, and here's some more information that I didn't get to talk about in my interview. That's all I have for right now, and with this we kind of conclude the beginner level of this video series. Good luck building your portfolios, and please let us know how it goes.